So I've had quite a few people ask me what is the gaming performance like on the new M1 iPad Pro, and the good news is I'm going to be doing a lot of testing in the next couple of videos, including a video where I test like 5 or 10 games and also do a lot of thermals testing as well. But for now, I'm going to do some really popular games like PUBG and also Call of Duty Mobile. So I'm gonna run it at max settings, see what kind of frame rates we can get, the overall experience, is it good? And then finally, after half an hour of running, I'm actually going to do a thermal test on the back to see how hot it's going to get, because I know that a big issue with the 2020 iPad was that after half an hour or an hour, or sometimes even 15 minutes of gaming, it would get really hot, it would overheat, and it would be uncomfortable to hold, or it would just throttle the performance. So in today's video, we're gonna test that out and see how this new M1 iPad stacks up. But first, a quick word from our sponsor, Setapp. Setapp is a large collection of powerful Mac apps, all available for one single monthly subscription. Browse the internet with a VPN, speed up your Mac, use a password manager, or access a ton of productivity apps for students. Check out the link in the description and get started with a free subscription today. Now yes, this big ass camera behind me is a Blackmagic 6K camera, so it's going to be doing a top-down shot onto the iPad so you can actually see me play Call of Duty Mobile and see what the performance is like for yourself. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it and I will switch to the Blackmagic camera. Okay, so let's open up the actual game itself. Now I have been playing this for about an hour in total so far. The performance does seem quite good. I'm not very good at the game at all. Let me just turn this volume down. But hopefully I'm good enough to show you how the game actually runs. I actually used to play Call of Duty a lot when I was a kid. I'd get home from school and I would just get straight on the Xbox 360 and just play for like 10 hours straight. So that was a long time ago, probably about 8 or 10 years. So we'll see if my skills still hold up. Okay, so first things first, let's come into the settings, and you can see I'm actually using the advanced mode here. I just find that a little bit easier for me to use personally. If we come into audio and graphics, you can see I have the graphics quality set to very high and the frame rate set to very high as well. Now, if I actually switch the frame rate to max, you can see it actually changes the graphic quality. Personally, I would prefer a little bit higher graphic quality than actual frames. I have tested it out. The difference between max and very high isn't super big, although if you are having overheating issues, you can obviously toggle these down a little bit, but these are the settings I've had the most success with so far on this particular M1 iPad. So I have bloom, real-time shadows, and ragdoll on, anti-aliasing and water reflection off, just because you don't really need that while you're gaming. And the graphic style is realistic. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to load up a game. We're just gonna start a frontline random game. I'll turn the volume up just a little bit so you can hear the gunshots and stuff. I have to give it to this game. The loading time is very, very impressive. So let's, okay, good. This is a map that I know. It's Crash. This is an old school map from COD 4. If you guys are old enough to know what COD 4 is. All right, so let's get a move on. So again, guys, I'm a massive noob at this game, so don't judge my gameplay at all. I've literally played it for the first time about 2 hours ago. So as you can see, guys, really, really smooth. The frames, there's no obviously frame counter here, but I'm gonna say that's a very solid 60 FPS, or at least very close to 60 FPS. I'm really not having any issues at all. Moving around and shooting, as you can see there, that was very, very quick. I'll chuck a frag over there. And I'm gonna call in a predator. There's a guy right next to me. Get this guy. Yeah, but it's a very, very enjoyable experience. Like, it's obviously not gonna be anywhere near what you would get on a PC, but guys, for an iPad, it really is not bad at all. Like, this is actually quite enjoyable to play. I have, as I said before, tested out the high FPS mode, and where you have to actually lower the graphical settings. Personally, I prefer a little bit of a higher quality screen in front of my eyes rather than a little bit additional FPS, especially because this is an iPad, guys. Like, it's not a competitive FPS like Counter-Strike Go or anything like that on a PC. I don't think, in my opinion, you really need a super high frame rate, although, you know, it's up to your personal preference. Maybe for you, you would prefer that, but for me, I don't really care. Oops, there's a guy right next to me about to die. So as you can see there, like, I snapped onto that guy pretty quickly. I know there is aim assist, but Still not too shabby at all. So let's just keep running around here, get a couple more kills. Okay, so that is the first game down. Like I said, guys, while I was playing this, very, very enjoyable. If I actually lift this up on the back, there's a little bit of heat. I wouldn't say heat, but it's just a tiny little bit warm, sort of above the Apple logo. So that seems to be where the actual M1 chip is located. Perhaps maybe a little bit there, but again, like I can barely tell it's even on. It is not warm at all. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to actually take a note of what battery percentage I'm at. Also bear in mind, I'm at 100% brightness. So I'm gonna set a timer on my phone for 20 minutes and we are going to see what sort of heat and also performance we're getting after 20 minutes of gameplay on this. And I'm also at 85% battery. So what I'll do now, guys, is I'll play a few more games over about 20 minutes. Remember, the battery percentage is at 85%, the screen brightness is at 100%, the frames are set to very high, and the graphics are set to very high as well. And we're gonna see what we have after 20 minutes. Okay, so that has been 20 minutes, well, almost 20 minutes. As you guys can see here, we have about 1 minute and 50 seconds left. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to connect my FLIR thermal camera onto my iPhone so we can take some thermals of this particular device. Now, I will have had some B-roll playing previously so you guys can see some of the gameplay. So it's all different maps. Right now, we're actually back on Crash, funnily enough. Okay, so as you guys can see here, we have the FLIR camera up and running. So as you can see, down near the bottom of the iPad, we're getting around 36 degrees Celsius. And if we actually flip it over and we have a look at the back, so we're getting around 34 degrees Celsius right in the middle near that Apple logo. And you guys can actually see there where all of the heat is concentrated. So that's obviously where the M1 chip is and where it's emitting all of the heat. But as you guys can see, like that is barely warm. The ambient temperature in here is around 26 degrees. So it's actually fairly warm because I've got all the studio lights on. But this is barely breaking 35 degrees. As we get out towards the sides, we're getting about 33 degrees. But yeah, really not bad at all. Now, if I actually feel the iPad on the back, again, it doesn't even feel warm. This has been going for over half an hour, playing high definition, high FPS Call of Duty Mobile. As you guys can see, absolutely no issues. It's still extremely smooth. So I'm gonna give this one the Created Tech tick of approval for now, because I think that playing this game is gonna be very enjoyable and very easy now on this M1 iPad, especially even compared to the previous A14 generation iPad. Now, in terms of battery life, let's have a look at that as well. So we're up to 76% battery life. So that's under 10% battery in about 20 to 25 minutes of gameplay with the brightness set to 100%. Also running on Wi-Fi, also with Bluetooth enabled. So very, very impressive. Anyway, guys, that's it for this particular video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comment section below what other games you want me to test. Like I said, I'm gonna be testing a lot more games on this particular device. So comment down below and let me know what you guys want to see. But apart from that, I will catch you in the next one.